So for our first lesson, it's going to be Unit 4. Lesson 6. Increasing and decreasing. And today's date, which is 10/24. Every lesson comes with a warm-up, and we will do 90% of the warm-ups. It's all on one sheet, and then you will get a cool down. The cool down is graded. This is what I was talking about when you have one question, so if you get it wrong, then obviously you get a 0. You do have the opportunity to correct it, but it has to be done the next day when you get your cool down back. You can't wait 3 or 4 days to complete it. Sorry, I can't talk so much. You can't wait 3 or 4 days to turn it in. Like, it's got to be turned in automatically the next day once you get it back. All right, you are going to need a highlighter, so please go ahead and have that out. That doesn't change. All right, and we're still learning about percents as well, so that doesn't change either. Like this whole week, we're going to spend on percents, but baby, I'm not worried about your pencil case. You have a pencil in your hand right now. That's all I care about right now. I'm in the middle of a lesson, sweetie. Okay? If we should have time afterwards, you can go on the hunt for it then, but you're not doing it right now. All right, so our learning goal is let's use percentages to describe increases and decreases. Our learning target is I can draw a tape diagram that represents a percent increase or decrease. So yes, you are going to be drawing tape diagrams. When I know a starting amount and the percent increase or decrease, I can find the new amount. So I can find the new amount. So those are the two learning targets for today. And then our lesson terms are percent increases and percentage decreases. All right, so slide down where it says improving their game. So this is your warm-up. All right, so everybody put your markers down, pencils down, everything down, and listen. So it says here are the scores for 3 different sport teams from their last 2 games. So you have a football team, a basketball team, and a baseball team. You are answering, and you can just write bullets. You don't have to write full sentences if you don't want to. But you're answering A and B. A says, what do you notice about the team's scores? What do you wonder? You're also answering which team improved the most and explain your reasoning. Okay? So with the explain your reasoning, you can use numbers or you can use words. All right? But you're answering A and B. Is that clear? You are going to get 5 minutes to do this. If you finish before the end of the 5 minutes, please stand up. Do not talk. Okay? We will then discuss these and move on into the lesson. Any questions? All right, go ahead. You have 5 minutes. All right. No, we are in the middle of a lesson, y'all. I don't know about that. Guys have 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Ian, stop. You can go get some water if you need, sweetie. Guys have 25 seconds.
Pardon the interruption. Please release the soccer team to the gym. Thank you.
Haley. Haley, come and get this. Are you okay? All right. So, with a notice and wonder, guys, there are no right answers and there are no wrong answers because it's what you notice and what you wonder. Okay, so do not be concerned about, oh, well, I might have the wrong answer. That's not true. There is no wrong answer. Okay? There is technically no right answer either. It's just what you notice and what you wonder. All right, so what is one thing that you noticed about these sports? Seth. All scored 8 more. You said the second game? Okay. All right, what else did we notice? Summer.
We had a lower amount of points in the first game.
Okay, what else? Caden.
I don't know anything that's already been said.
Okay, Emma.
All teams in eight.
Okay, what else? So remember, this lesson is on increasing percents and decreasing percents. Did anybody do anything with percents? River?
I read the question and I did a what we wonder, the second one I put, the site was confused, so I put, I wonder how much, like what percent they increased, like per team, because all the numbers are different, so all the percents they increased had to be different.
Okay, so say your question again?
How much, each team, like, got better about a percent.
what percent did they improve? Okay. What else do we have for wonders? What's another wonder? Seth? Okay. Okay, what other wonders did you have? Did anybody write a wonder? Did anybody write anything different? We are that much alike in here? Yes. Baby, you're right here and I have no idea what you said. So, like, speak to me. What's your question?
I was wondering how they increase at the same time, the same length.
How did they increase what?
At the same time, at the same length.
All right. So now let's talk about B. Which team improved the most? So which team do you say improved the most? Charles.
The baseball team,
Why?
because I could see that the difference from 4 and 12, it's like 4 times 3 would equal to 12.
So you said 4 times 3 equals 12?
Yes, and that means they improved like more than the other teams.
So they improved 3 times as well?
Yes.
Okay. As well. Interesting. Okay. Anybody else come up with something different? Kaden.
I said baseball because football goes up by 7, so they really only went up by 1 touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Hold on.
And
Just
a 2-point conversion.
hold on. So only increased by 1 touchdown. Okay.
2-point conversion.
And a 2-point conversion. Okay.
And then basketball has other scores like 3-pointers and free throws. Baseball, most of the time, only goes up by 1, so they just score more.
Okay, so you looked at it as like the points, how points go. Okay, so football increases by 1, but it's 7 points. Baseball increases by 1, and it's 1 point. Well, doesn't basketball increase by 1?
Basketball got 2 pointers, 3 pointers, and a donkey ball.
Oh yeah, because each baskets were 2. Duh. Sorry, I totally had like a non. Yeah.
Baseball and softball is sometimes.
All right, hold on. Increases by 2 points, 3 points, and 1 point for a free throw. Interesting. I've never had anybody say that, so that's pretty cool that you look at it that way. All right, let me get one more, Daniel.
I was told that when you subtracted from the first game to the second game, like their second game minus their first game points, every single one of them equaled 8.
Okay. So how did that help you determine who improved the most?
Because I realized that they all improved the same.
Okay, so you're saying they all improved the same. Okay.
They
When subtracted,
all got more.
all the same. All right, interesting. Lots of good thinking. All right, slide over to the first activity. So this says more cereal and a discount shirt. So problem number 1, It says a cereal box. A cereal box that says, I can't even read. A cereal box says that now it contains 20% more. Originally, it came with 8.5 ounces of cereal. How much cereal does the box come with now? All right, so what's important in this question? What's important? Oakley.
It now contains 20
Say that again.
more. It now contains 20% more.
Okay. All right. What else is important? What else is important, Seth? What? Charles? Oakley? What Oakley said? Oakley. Okay. All right. Travis.
It originally came with 18.5 ounces.
Okay, so that's important. Originally 18.5 ounces. And then obviously we want to know how much cereal does the box come with now. All right, there are a couple of different ways to solve this. Obviously, I'll wait for you guys to stop talking because it's way more important than what I am discussing up here. There are a couple of different ways that you can go about solving this. You can obviously use what? What did you just learn that you could possibly use to help you solve this problem? So you can use the percent proportion equation. I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret. You can also simply do 18.5 times 20%. How do I change 20% to a decimal? How do I change it to a decimal, Ian? So get rid of my percent, move this over twice. This becomes 18.5 times 0.2. I don't care what you do. Solve this problem. Stand up when you have this answer, showing your work. Showing your work. All right, have a seat. How many of you guys did it this way? Okay, how many of you guys went and did it the percent proportion equation? And it's okay, I just want to make sure I have both on the page if you guys did it that way. Did anybody do the percent proportion equation? Okay. So Ian,
I did that way on the board. I don't know which one's which.
this is the percent proportion, so this way.
I did the other way.
So did anybody do this? No, we all did this. All right, so when you do 18.5 times 2/10, raise your hand and tell me what you get. Oakley.
Without the decimal, it's 370.
Huh?
Without the decimal, it's
Not without it.
with the decimal, it's 3 and 7/10.
Yes. And the reason I say you have to have the decimal in here is because you have the decimal in your multiplication problem. So, does that make sense? How much cereal does the box come with now? How did we get a smaller amount and say that's our answer? Travis? Because we're not done answering the question, are we?
You have to add 18.5 plus 3.7.
Yes. You have to add these two together. And this is where the difference in percent questions really take off between 6th and 7th grade. 6th grade, most of the time, you're just finding the part, the percent, or the whole. 7th grade, you're given a percent question. You have to find a certain aspect of it and then do another step with it. So make sure that you understand this is only 20% of the 18.5. We know that it increased, or you got more, because there was a keyword more. So we have to do 18.5 plus 3 7/10, which gives us 22.5 ounces. That is our correct answer. So 22.5 ounces is the correct answer. That's how much the cereal box contains now. Carry my ones. Sorry. All right, questions about that one? How much easier is it to just kind of do this than to do your percent proportion? What do you guys think?
If you could do what you just showed us,
Yeah.
way much easier.
Okay. All right, so now let's look at problem number 2. Problem number 2 says the price of a shirt is $18.50, but you have a coupon that lowers the price by 20%. What is the price of the shirt after using the coupon? So we know that the price of a shirt is $18.50, but we have a coupon that lowers the price by 20%. We need to find out what is the price of the shirt after using the coupon. Well, we've already done some of this math, right? So regardless, I'm still going to do 18.5 times 20%. Why am I still going to do that? Why is it still important for me to do 18.5 times 20%? Oakley. Well, you have to show your work, but you still have to find what?
You have to find the amount of the coupon.
Yes, you still have to find the 20% of 18.5. So whether you're increasing or decreasing, you're still finding that 20%. Does that make sense? So you still have to find that step, which once we do this, we have 18.5 times 2/10. That gives me $3.70, because remember, we're dealing with money, right? Now, the key word in this one tells us lowers. So what are we going to do if we're lowering our price? Easton, right, baby? What are we going to do? Travis? Subtract. So I'm going to do 18.5 minus 3 7/10. So I end up with $14.80 is how much the shirt is going to cost me after using my coupon. So the important part of percents increasing and decreasing is knowing how to find your percent and knowing if you're going to increase it or decrease it. So those key words. So slide over to the first part where we have lesson terms. I want you to slide over there. So right over here. So when we're talking about a percent decrease, what was a word that we used? Like what was one word that told us we're gonna we're gonna subtract our answer? What was one word? Sophia. Lower. All right. What was one word that told us about a percentage increase? What was that key word that we used to know we were adding? Kaden.
Raise.
Did it say raise? More. Okay. And yes, raise is one. All right. But we're looking for just the words that we've encountered today. All right. Everybody good? Flip your paper over. All right, so we're going to be looking at some tape diagrams. Now, you know how I feel about tape diagrams, but sometimes it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes it does not make a lot of sense. Why? Sorry, it unfocused on my screen. Is it going to do it again? There we go. All right. So it says match each situation to a diagram. Be prepared to explain your reasoning. All right. So in this one, It's saying last year, this is 100%. This year, you have 100%, but you also have an extra what? 25%. So technically, the whole total of this is what? 125%. Okay? So this side, diagram B, you have 100%. But then this year, what is that 25% telling us? I can't hear you.
We either have 25% or 25% less.
Okay, that's what you had to tell me. So we have 100. So the first one was really easy because you have 100 last year, you have 100 this year, plus 25, right? So think of it just like that for this one. We have 100 last year, but this year technically, do we have 100? Do we have 100? No. So this is actually 100 minus 25. Okay? So the amount that we have this year technically is what? 75%. All right, so knowing that tidbit of information, I just want you to write if this goes with diagram A or B, diagram A or B, diagram A or B, diagram A or B, and then we'll discuss why. Okay, so like A says compared with last year's strawberry harvest, this year's strawberry harvest is 25% increase. So is that going to go with diagram A or diagram B? No. Write it. You're writing. You're doing that for B, you're doing that for C, and for D, and then stand up. All right, we're gonna do stand up, sit down. So have a seat. So stand up if you picked diagram A for A. All right, why? Why does diagram A go with A? Summer.
Know that this year it shows that it was 25% more, and also it says increase in the sentence where it says compared with last year's strawberry harvest, this year's strawberry harvest increased by 25%.
Okay, so that keyword of increased. All right, have a seat. So for B, it says this year's blueberry harvest is 75% of last year's. So stand up if you pick diagram A. Okay, stand up if you pick diagram B. All right, why? Why does diagram B go with this one? Ian?
The reason why diagram B goes to this one is because it says, it's 75 of last year, and 75 is 25 subtracted by 100.
Yep. All right, have a seat. C, it says compared with last year, this year's peach harvest decreased 25%. All right, stand up if you pick diagram A. Diagram B. All right, why? Oakley, nice and loud, baby.
Because it says it's 25%
All right, and then the last one, D, it says this year's plum harvest is 125% of last year's plum harvest. All right, stand up if you pick diagram A. Okay, and Y. Easton, why is the diagram A?
Because diagram B, it's not 125%, it's about 75%. Diagram A is 125%, so it would be diagram A.
Okay, perfect. All right, so all of those are good reasons. Have a seat, flip your paper back over. We're gonna add a few more words to our lesson terms. So when we're percent decreasing, what's a key word that we just learned? When we're percentage decrease. Ian,
We learned of
no, the word decreased.
less.
No.
Decrease.
Guys, holy Lord have mercy. We're just pulling words that we're encountering today. Yes, I know we know that less means decrease. I know that just the words that we are encountering today only. All right, what's one that goes with percentage increase? Charles. Increased. All right, flip your paper back over. All right, so problem number 2. This part says you're going to draw a diagram that represents the situations. So the number of ducks living at the pond increased by 40%, and then the number of mosquitoes decreased by 80%. So use diagram A and B to help you with this. All right, go ahead. See what you guys come up with. So you're going to use a tape diagram, and it has to be out of what? Has to be out of 100. Go from there. All right, you guys are thinking too hard about this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, we should all be up by now. So everyone have a seat. So for the first one, the number of ducks living at the pond increased by 40%. Is that gonna go inside our 100% or is it gonna go outside of that? Lily. So we're going to add another 40% out here. That is our 40% increase. So just add a little bit of color with your highlighter. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right. B, the number of mosquitoes decreased by 80%. Is that going inside of our 100% or is that going outside? Sophia? Inside. So about here, give or take. This is my 80% of a decrease, which is giving me 20% left. Okay? So that's all this should look like. This should not be any more in depth than that. I mean, it's pretty, don't overthink these things. All right, last part of your lessons today. So, do you agree or disagree with each statement and explain why? So A, everyone put your pencils down so I know you're listening. It says employee A gets a pay raise of 50% and employee B gets a pay raise of 45%. So employee A gets a bigger pay raise. You have to say, I agree or I disagree and tell me why in a sentence. All right. B, shirts are on sale for 20% off. You buy 2 of them. As you pay, the cashier says 20% off of each shirt means 40% off the total. Again, you have to say, do you agree or disagree and tell me why. Okay? Stand up when you're done. Stop talking if you're standing. Do not make me talk to you guys again today. All right. Have a seat. So, first off, stand up if you agree with what A says. Okay, have a seat. Stand up if you disagree with what A says. Okay, so this one is interesting. So it can be both. And the reason it can be both is you can agree if what? There's something that's important that we need to know that we don't know. But you can agree if you imply, like, you think that this is the case. Kaden, what do you think?
You can agree that it's getting a bigger percent of a pay raise, but the disagree part would be...
No, we're only talking about agree. So what has to be the same in order for you to agree that A is getting a bigger increase?
Getting the same pay rate.
Yes. So same pay rate. You can disagree if what? So McKenna, you said you disagree. Why?
I just said because I thought it was unfair to the one employees.
I mean, that's true. I mean, it is unfair for one person to get 50% and one person to get 45%, which is fine. All right, that's one reason. So it's unfair. If you're getting a raise, you should get the same raise. All right. Another reason would be if A makes more. Okay. All right, B. Shirts are on sale for 20% off. You buy 2 of them. As you pay, the cashier says 20% off of each shirt means 40% off the total price. Stand up if you agree. Okay, have a seat. Stand up if you disagree. Okay, this is a disagree. The reason this is a disagree is because why? Why is this a disagree? There is no agree in this one. Summer.
Because I said that because 20% is off each shirt, not total.
Yes. 20% off each shirt, not total. All right, and that is exactly it. So now, the way you're going to glue this into your notebook, I need everybody to pay attention. So on this sheet, this page, you're going to put a teeny tiny bit of glue on the inside of your notebook. And you're going to glue it down just a little bit. So that when you open it, you can see all of it, okay? So just a teeny strip right here and a teeny strip right there. So here and here. Then flip your notebook over. You need to title it Unit 4, Lesson 6, and just title it Exit Ticket, because that's what it's going to be in the grade book, and then today's date. And this yellow sheet of paper, you're completing it, and you're turning it into the 3rd period bin today. It is due today. When you are done, you're working on Delta Math, or the assignment from last Thursday. Okay? That's why I allow you to be able to redo it if you get it wrong.